Welcome to the Nasser Impact Zone. Impact Zone.
What's up, wrestling world? It's your boy WrestleMan Nasir, and I'm here for another TNA Impact review, June 18th, 2026. Now, I'm not going to go through all the matches and everything, but I'm going to give you a nice, good summary of everything what happened and my thoughts and views on it. But I have other things I want to discuss, so I don't want this video to be too long for you all. And I'm going to start off with the elephant in the room, departures. Tessa Blanchard has departed from TNA. She asked for her release, and it was granted. She made a video about this, and she stated that there was no animosity, no bad blood. Everything is good between her and TNA. And basically, she had to choose between TNA and CMLL, and she chose CMLL. If you want to hear more about that, I did a video on that earlier today, this morning actually, and you can go listen to it, see what she's talking about. And I also put the link in the comment section so you can listen to the video in its entirety. So that's a good look on. It's good and a bad look. It's a good look for TNA because people quick to throw at negativity at them, like, oh, everybody's leaving, even though it's a good bit of people leaving, but this was not necessarily TNA's fault. It's bad because they lost a good addition to TNA, and I did a video on that a couple of weeks ago that I believe it was time for her to push, and she was the number one person in the company, not just in the knockouts. I believe both divisions. She was a great heel, and that was going to help build a lot of great baby faces, especially with her having two other heels with her, dynamically. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Tommy Dreamer's departure, and it's rumored that Road Dogg might be in talks with TNA for to replace him. And it was funny, I was talking with someone the day that it happened, and I was like, well, before it happened, I was like, when Road Dogg spoke out about everything, and I was like, hey, Road Dogg sure could take Tommy Dreamer's spot, because it seems like he has a great mind and he's not with the foolishness. And I think he would be great for TNA. And then voila, look what was happening. So I don't know. I don't like people losing their jobs, but hey, for TNA, it's going to be great to have something better. And it's kind of seemed like things are starting to change for the better. And I know some of that is them cramming, but I think it's the last stench of Tommy Dreamer, because you got to think of the tapings and everything. So we don't know how much of Tommy Dreamer has been affecting the last few bit of tapings. But it's good to know that the talent spoke out about creative, and TNA is doing something about it. And Tommy Dreamer, he came out on Busted Open radio on the show and said, hey, there's no animosity. But too many people are leaving. Sami Callihan, I don't get. I need to go find out about it. Why did that happen? But I believe from what I know, he has a good creative mind as well. So I don't know. But the departures, and that brings me the other departments. That brings me to something that a lot of people are talking about, and it's TNA and money. People are so dead on saying TNA is broke, they're in debt, they got so much debt. And that was true at once upon a time. But TNA is making a lot of money, having a lot of deals. They just cracked some new deals with I can't think of the names of what it was, but just the other day they had a few deals, partnerships that they have. So I mean, they got the A game, they got the new TV deal with AMC. They have um well they had Bioflex for the longest. They had the Walking Dead or whatever, Walk by whatever TV or movie, whatever it was. And now they have Zonify, which is a pretty big deal. They have the deal with um iHeartRadio, which is a great thing. They also have outside TV deals across overseas, a couple of them. So there's no way in the world that TNA is struggling like they want people want to say. Chris Jericho himself said that TNA is not to be slept on when it comes to money because they was throwing the purse at him. And he almost went, but Tony Khan came along and new ideas, new this, and this was a big challenge that he loved. And of course, Tony probably threw the money thing. No, probably he did threw the money at him. He threw the money at him. So TNA has money. I believe the thing is, TNA is trying to be careful with their money. They are trying to save and spend wisely. That is part of the reason why they got rid of Scott Demora. They wanted to save. They don't want to spend recklessly. Everything's going good. And I have no problem with that. I think that's good. And that's part of the reason why I'm thinking they letting certain talent just go. And the strategy seems to be okay, but it's like, dang. But they did, to be fair, they did try to make offers for Tessa Blanchard, which I sure would have. But I don't know why they couldn't have just, they could have done a deal with CMLL, form a partnership or something. And she could have been on both. I don't know. Maybe in the future they will. But TNA have money. Are they loaded like WWE? Hell no. Are they loaded like AEW? Hell no. But they have money. And they have more money coming in. It's just they're making transitions and they're trying to save. It's just how they go about it. It sucks. And people dog the production, and I have my doubts about the production too. Like that announce day table, even before the A game, I don't like it. And I mean, we could probably overlook that, but the wrestlers, when the wrestlers come out, they don't. Their music, it don't hit hard because of their production. The mics are not so bad as it was before. Um, Crowd. I've heard the podcast with BQ, Negative BQ, and um Mike Gilbert, and on the Mike and JD show, they were doing some calls, and a dude that was in Sacramento was saying about how they pop for this, but Negative BQ and then was like, "Oh, for real?" And I understand because from a television point of view, sometimes it sounds like the crowd is dead or they're not that invested. And it's the production. They're not really capturing the sounds and everything where the person that is viewing this on the television, they can't get that television experience that they would like. And the crowd plays a major part, especially you're already doing some shenanigans. It's like got you scratching your head, and then the crowd is the crowd plays a major part. So they need to step that up. And the vision, the lighting, I think it's okay. The backstage, it's okay. Could it be better? Yes, of course. But I'm not gonna rave about that. It's just those things that I mentioned. You do stuff with the music and be able to capture the crowd so you can give that energy to everyone. That's that's what's needed. And creative. You can get away with this production, the lighting, and everything that people clown about. You can get away with it with pro- great um creative. And I'm not one that's got to be a story. I hear Vince Russo and everything a story, a story. Oh, the story. What is the story? Man, look here. Everything is a story. It's a story. I mean, I'm one that's more about the wrestling, but I do love the story, and I think they could do better with the story. Everything is a story. If Ling Ying Ying comes out and have a match and yells at the crowd, hey, hey, that's a story. That's what happened. And she walk back in and it's a story. Is it a long story? No. Is it a great story? No. And that is the problem. We need more deeper, better stories. And it seems like they're starting to do that. And so they got money. They have money. Money is not necessarily a problem like that. I believe they're just cutting costs and trying to spend wisely. So in the future, they're going to do things, better things, and they can step up a lot of things. And they're trying to rebuild and have that team. It's just kind of crappy how things is happening and how they go about it. But if they really are looking into creative, like they're saying, and what we're kind of seeing right now, great. And TNA is going to be on their way. And when it comes to ratings, people with the ratings, now I know Nelson and everything. You got to understand that it's a old system with the boxes and everything. It's not something to live and die on, but it's relevant. They got different rating systems, and people, oh, it dropped. Oh, this, but this is 2026, people. It's 2026. People are going to get. People are going to watch it live. This is not 1996. It's not even 2006, where you had to watch it then, and after that you couldn't see it no more. You had to hear about it. No, you miss it, you didn't watch it, or you prioritize yourself with something else, and you'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch this tomorrow because I'm gonna really be in a mood to calm down. I can do this, whatever, and I can actually watch this with peace, in peace. And that's the thing. And we don't know about the numbers, the ratings on the on demand. How many people are going back to watch that? So if 150,000 is watching, and you go back on the replay, they have another 180. You got over 130,000 or over 3,000. I mean, over 300,000. So come on, come on now. We gotta stop it. But I hope they maintain the people they have. Harley Hudson, please don't, please use her, shape her. Don't do, let her run away, and do better with the contracts, the contract signings. All right, sign them longer and build them and grow them, and maybe that's what they're doing. I hope so, because TNA, whew, you've been making people sweat and almost want to lose hope. But yeah. But let's get into last night, TNA Impact, June 18th, 2026. It opened up with Zaya Brookside, and she was given a promo in the ring. Li Ying Lee came out. This time, Li Ying Lee, no crying, no sad story, and her English is actually pretty good. So I mean, I'm glad that they're actually letting her speak English, and she has a pretty strong voice. Not the strongest, but it's a strong voice, and she can actually. She's actually kind of better on the mic than Io Sky or someone, and Oscar and all of them. She's pretty good, and yeah, she actually cut a decent promo, called her the B word and all this other stuff. Well, no. I think she did. She called her something else. And Zaya Brookside came and they ended up tussling Zaya. And Ling Yang Lee, she actually attacked some security guards. Yeah, she went hard. And there wasn't no crying, no this and emotions. Like she pushed all that to the side and she only see blood. Um Mike Santana, Casey Navarro, and Ryan Nemeth was going up against the Order 4, Ali and the Great Hands. Right before that, Casey told Mike Santana all that stuff about not trusting people. That's why he was like he was. Put all that aside, focus on tonight and everything. And he gave him his word and did that. And of course, at the end of the match, Nick Nemeth super kicked Mike Santana. Mike Santana went in. If they start going at it, Ryan Nemeth got in, did his thing. KC trying to stop them. Um, Mike Santana was he ready to hit a spin the block. Ryan Nemeth got out the way, and Casey Navarro got hit with it. Later on backstage, Nick Nemeth tried to, but he's right now trying to manipulate and play with Casey Navarro, trying to get him on his side and playing games and telling him how that was wrong of Mike. Mike should have never did that, but Ryan come messing it up by yelling, talking about haha, that's good for you and all that stuff. Mike come very hostile security trying to hold him back, and he yelled some stuff at the Nemeth brothers and told Casey his bad that was on him. Pretty much apologized. Later on, Nick Nemeth went talked to Santino about putting him in the Ultimate X, and Fabian was already in that and asking to be in Ultimate X, and Santino ended up putting KC and Fabian in the Ultimate X match on for Slammiversary, and it's like Nick Nemeth using this to get on KC's good side and his manipulating tactics. Um, had a video package with AJ Francis. He called it Inside the Music. It's almost like the Behind the Music with VH1 back in the day. And he pretty much talked about how he's excelled in sports, football, and everything. But the one thing that it was hard was becoming the music and how this and he's this and that. And he's really playing the Suge Knight thing. He even mentioned how Suge was someone he looked up to. So this is going to be pretty good. I think this is going to be interesting. He's looking like he's getting to be more serious, and I think that's great for him. Let's see. Mr. Elegance has been added to the Ultimate X. The Elegance brand, the concierge went knocking at the suit's door and begged and did whatever, and she got him in there. And Indy Hartwell was passing by going into the ring for her match against Elena Black. Knocked into, purposely bumped into Ash by Elegance, and they've shared a few words, so we probably won't be going somewhere with that. There's been tension with that, because they all been shooting for the Knockouts belt as she never lost the belt. And I kind of like that. That's building up things. They got different tensions building up with different people and making that belt look relevant because that belt has been through hell. And it's time to put some relevance, make this belt more relevant again and show them why the knockouts division as was once the place to be for women in professional wrestling. India on Hartwell, she ended up defeating Elena Black. Um Ricky Salsa, he had a match. I can't remember the cat name. Some dude. He's a 14-year-old veteran though. Look like he could be a sidekick, a protege of Johnny Swinger. But anyway, Eric Young was ring was at the announce table. Ricky Salsa defeated, came out victorious, and Eric Young just looked, clapped at him, and just like, hey, letting him know, hey, I'm coming for you. So they're gonna be at Slammiversary. Let's see, the Hardys and the Hardys and Moose took on the System. We actually got to see Broken Moose. The Hardys came out to their Broken theme, and Moose came out and hit a piece of his music, and then he came out, and I had just told my daughter that'd be something he come out dressed up like the Hardys, and she was like, he did. I said, nah, that's his robe. It's just looking like that. But sure enough, it was it. We got Broken Moose. Now, should we elaborate, keep on, push on, and keep that? Nah, this is just a one-time thing. That would be very ridiculous. On Moose, I think Moose would. I don't know how bad it would hurt him, but it wouldn't be a good look. But yeah, so it was a pretty good match. System came out on top, and it really wasn't no much shenanigans. They came out on top, and that was pretty much it. And we ended the show with Mike Santana calling out Nick Nemeth, and they pretty much went back and forth, and that was pretty much it. And I kind of like when wrestling shows don't always end in chaos, or you have a good match and bam, and you just go on, or you just sit there and have a big powwow, you in the ring, whatever, and someone slam you verbally, and it just ooh and just end and it go off. Pretty good. Overall, it wasn't a bad show. It was a pretty good show. Entertaining. Was it electrifying? No. But it has its potentials, and you see that TNA are building and pushing, even though they are cramming for Slammiversary. But we also have some things when you look at it, it can actually lead on to something after Slammiversary, like KC Navarra and Nick Nemeth. This is could be leading somewhere, and I'm kind of interested to see where this is gonna go. Daughter Four. I can't think of old boy name in the great hands, but the smaller one. He's been showing disgust, his facial expressions. He's like not pleased with certain things. So that's something brewing up with that too. And Auto 4 probably be disappearing sooner or later. So we have that. The knockouts division, even though we're losing some people, but it's some things going on with that. And we still have some decent pieces in the knockouts division. We just have to continue to build and grow. And let's not rely on NXT or WWE talent. It's good, but that's why I wish CMLL could have done some type of partnership or maybe, and kept Tessa. And I hope TNA will go back to what they were doing a few years ago when they was in a worse place than they are now. Working with some smaller companies, smaller independent companies. Make some have some partnerships with them. Have some of the wrestlers come in short term. Make the roster look pretty good. You want to end up signing them, whatever. Do a WWE, pretty much. But it was good. It's a good show. It has some good things that have made you want to open your eyes, like, ooh, you know. And it's just it's so late that they did it before Slammiversary. They're one of the biggest. They push it as the biggest, but Bound for Glory is supposed to be the biggest. But either way it go, the top two show of the year, and I don't know. But if you caught it last night, let me know what you thought about TNA Impact last night, and what you think about all the departures, as well as the. Do you really believe the whole TNA don't have money? Everything I discussed. That's going to be it for me. We're going to hit you with some wrestling news of the week from WWE, AEW, TNA, etc. And we're going to be having a new segment coming your way with some history and other things. Well, thank you for stopping by. Hope you see it again. Peace.